Hey everybody, welcome to Rock, Paper, Hand Grenades. I'm Matt Connerton, and to my right, you can always tell when he's been on his motorcycle, the Honorable
Gary baby.
Hopper.
Out cruising.
Yep. You got those special glasses.
Okay. So before I get started, because I'm going to do this twice just for people, Jim Adams is running for executive council. He's having a fundraiser for $50 a plate. It better be really good food at the Yard Restaurant tomorrow night at 6. You can contact them by contacting Jim at jimadams.org. Or, for the wicked fun time, there's Ross Terrio is having his fundraiser at Spare Time, which is at the corner of Maple and Valley Street, the bowling alley. And that's $20 a person. And Ross has been on this show many times, and I don't like him at all.
I know, right? He's a drug dealer, as you say.
Yeah, I call him a drug dealer. Well, he's a pharmacist, drug dealer, same thing, really, in my eyes. But anyway, Ross is having his fundraiser over there, and let's see. Anyway, tonight I came on the show, and Ken Gidge, state rep from Nashua,
yes,
had some of his artwork, which looks really cool to me, and I only got 2-dimensional vision. But I guess if you have 3D glasses, it looks.
Yes, I tried that out. Yeah,
let me put
cool.
it this way. What it is, I come from a family of inventors, and I went to art school, etc. And
right.
I think you may not know, but I am the chair of studying the arts, the economic impacts of the arts and culture in the state of New Hampshire.
Do they actually have an impact? As a Republican, I have that hard time believing that.
Well, that's because you don't know a darn thing. And,
yeah, many people have said that, Ken.
No, I understand. Anyway, it's 3D. You can't see it, but if you had the glasses and common sense, which no,
I don't get that either.
I think you would find it very fascinating. And thank you very much. I do appreciate it.
Okay, wait. So what is this? Is all you have a website?
Yes, you can go to Gidge World. GIDGE.com.
Okay, Gidge World.
Yeah.
How do you get the 3D effect? Is it just a matter of the colors that you use?
When I said I come from a family of inventors, what I did is I came up with a new type of process which people don't understand. You look at it and you go, oh, it's just art. But what you don't know is that people who know a lot about art buy it for investment. Yeah. They buy it because they said there's nothing like it, and we have a feeling that when I finally give the secret of how it's done. It's no special paint, no special light, and it becomes 3D. But the big problem is you can't see it on TV, A. Right. And B, everybody's calling everything 3D.
Yeah.
Oh, yeah, that's true.
And I really want to thank you. That's very, very kind. And by the way, I am a Democrat, and these are evil Republic. No, I'm not sorry. But you did ask me on to show my artwork, and I did. I think
because as people know, when I first became elected in 2000, I went up there with all liberals are evil, in my mind, not really, but in effect. And then I got up there and I started gaining more and more regard for people with integrity over party. Right. And Ken is one of those people with integrity.
Thank you.
He does what he believes is correct. I don't agree with it 95% of the time, but I know that when he tells me something, A, he's telling me the truth, B, he believes it, and he has a cogent argument why he believes it. Mm-hmm. Okay, as opposed to because I said so. Right. Or because my party told me so, or because I read something somewhere. It's and I just respect that. It's like what's the rep from Keene, the jarhead from Keene?
William. I know he had a stroke.
Oh, he did. Oh, yeah. Last year.
Last year. Very, very nice gentleman.
What's his name though? I forgot. It's like a dream brain.
It's awful for us not to think of that.
But anyway, he's a Democrat from the Keene area, and he's just great. I know when I talk to him, I'm going to get the straight scoop, And like I said, again, I'm a Republican, so I'm not going to agree with him. Right. But at least I have something to go off that I can trust.
And I want people to know this is not a love fest, because I just ran into you, and the simple fact of the matter is that you're one of the Republicans that I can talk with. Mm-hmm. And it was interesting for you to say that before the cameras, because you are one I can talk with. Not only that is, I feel I can say something to you, and the Democrats would take advantage of me if they found out, but you would not say anything.
Oh, no, I would. I forget.
All right, okay. Well, you want to know something? Then there ought to be a lot more forgetting.
There you go.
No, it's like you know why your wife is the best. Why a husband is the best person to keep a secret from, to tell a secret to.
Why?
Because he's not listening anyway, and even if he does happen to, we forget it by the morning anyway. So.
Well, listen,
It's kind
thank
of the
you.
same thing,
I know you
I
guys
think.
have to beat up on Democrats, and it's too bad.
Well, I beat up on everybody.
You want a Trump sticker, by the way, Ken?
No, I happen to do a
No?
show with Al Baldessaro where I go back and forth with Al.
Yeah.
And believe me, he has those.
You probably you already get as much Trump as you want in your life.
You're all
everybody-
trumped out?
Yeah.
You got no idea.
Yeah.
Yeah, he has a hard time getting his head through the door.
Oh, yeah, I know.
I'll-
He's doing great.
Yeah, he's been on this show many times. So
Yeah.
we have an idea.
What I say to Al, I don't agree with Trump at all, but what I say to Al, and which is very important, he is really for veterans' rights and to make sure the veterans are taken care of. And I have to admire him for that.
Oh, yeah, he goes to, he's helped me with constituents. This is not a talk thing with him. 22 years as a Marine, and I've got to give him credit.
Oh,
Uh,
for that.
absolutely.
Yeah.
Absolutely.
Oh,
Yeah.
no, I totally agree. I know that something people might not know about Al is that, and this is actually when I started, I was a cruise guy. But,
Okay,
but one thing that I noticed that I did appreciate about Trump was when he was trying to establish some sort of platform about veterans, he established one, then sent it to Al and I think Dan Tamburello, and they went over it and
that's
sent
correct.
it back to him, and there was like give
Back
and
and forth,
take,
yeah.
which is not something you would expect. You would expect somebody of that, sometimes you have people that have that much authority or that wealthy will just not listen to anybody that's not, within their sphere of influence, and I appreciated that.
I really, I'm not really for Trump. I think he's a dangerous
You'll come
person.
around.
Having said that, I just really want people to know, when I talk to Al, he truly is really for veterans issues, and
Yeah.
he's hooked himself onto somebody who's respecting that.
Yeah.
Right.
Hey, Ken, thank you very much, young fellow.
You're very welcome,
Yes.
and nice seeing you guys, and thank you for inviting me on to show the art. I really
Yeah,
do.
If I ever get an extra eye, I'll look at your art again.
Okay, thank you.
Fair enough.
I'll keep an eye out for you.
All right. It was nice to meet you, Ken.
Oh,
Well, some say we all have a third eye.
right. Some say that.
Yes.
Katherine, I screwed it up. O'Brien. What's the middle one?
Prudhomme.
Prudhomme.
Yeah.
I don't think I was pronouncing it right even when I read it.
Yes, I think it's an easy name, but
You do?
some people have a hard time with it. I don't know
Well,
why.
I got Hopper, and people call me Hooper all the time. So apparently, it doesn't take a lot to throw people. Me,
I learned your name
Easily-
just by
easily.
thinking about toilets, because the hop, you call it the hopper,
no.
and that's
did
how
not-
I remember your
did not
name.
know that at all.
Actually, I thought you were Mr. Hooper on the originally on Sesame Street, and then I found out he died, and I was like,
Right?
that can't
Yeah,
be
that
the same guy,
can't be the same guy.
right? So there's two ways I
Oh,
remember your
wait,
name.
the other announcement I forgot. If you love freedom, Bass Pro Shops having Freedom Days starting, when is it? Come on, Gary.
What are they sponsoring us now?
July
That's great.
15th.
July 15th through the 31st. So if you love freedom, you'll buy guns.
Okay. Is that
Or a flannel shirt.
is that their
Or a
slogan?
flannel shirt.
Is that their slogan, or did you make that up?
I just made it up because it says NRA Freedom Days. And then they have a picture of a Sig Sauer 38 Special micro carry.
You should open an ad agency
I
with
should.
slogans like that. If you love freedom, you'll buy
Oh
guns.
gosh, I didn't get anything for this. They're like not even gonna give me a free hat or anything if I say this on the air.
A free cat? They have cats?
Baseball, yeah.
I
If you
love
want a
cats.
cat, I can
No, not
fix it up.
cat.
I have two already.
Yeah, no, I said hat.
Oh, how hat? I thought you
Free
said
hat,
cat. I don't hear.
man.
I don't hear well.
Okay.
I heard cat. I heard cat also.
Did you?
Yes, I did.
Good. I think Gary's
I
wrong.
got brain damage.
Yeah, exactly.
Katherine.
Yes.
Okay, so if you're on this show, it's tough. We don't, there's no softballs.
Mm-hmm.
So the first question I have for you, the greatest song of all times, this isn't an opinion. This is just factual. Is it?
You asking me what I think it is?
No, I'm asking, do you know what it is?
Yes.
And I'll give you the 4 examples. The 4 possibilities. You ready? There's only 4.
I bet the correct answer is not on your list.
Yeah, then you'd be wrong. So
Maybe your list is incomplete, but go ahead.
no. Is it Clair de Lune by Beethoven? Is it Anagata Davida by Iron Butterfly? Is it the theme from Deliverance?
Wow, really?
What's a 4th one? I'm choking here.
I'm going to go with All I Need by Jack Wagner.
Yeah, exactly. Yes.
Used to sing that on
one.
General Hospital to
Yeah, I
Felicia.
remember that. I remember that.
Right.
Yes.
Right.
I'm going to go off the boat, Alex, and give an unexpected answer. I'm going to go with
what?
I'm going to give an unexpected answer for what I think is the best song of all times.
Yeah, I didn't ask what you would thought. I was asking what is.
All right, then.
She's bad at this.
I know she isn't very
No,
good.
I'm actually
Oh.
too good at it.
You're too good at it.
My song is the best song ever.
Okay. What? Okay, go ahead.
You've never heard of it.
I probably
certain.
no. Go ahead.
Only choral directors have heard of it.
What is it?
It's Lamentations Over Boston by William Billings. It's a beautiful song. It really expresses the feeling of the people during the Revolutionary War period
Oh,
when,
gosh, I gotta
when
write it
Boston
down.
was a
Is it
garrison
that good?
and the British were taking
got a
over the
pen?
city.
I don't want to write it down. It's too long.
No.
It's a long
I
title.
gotta wrote it down.
And
Yeah.
so, of course,
I like short titles.
I know. I like.
Is there a way to abbreviate
I like
it?
wearing shorts. Is that the same
Yeah.
thing?
Well, it is summer, Gary.
Okay. Wait. Okay. So anyway.
You don't wear shorts when you ride your motorcycle, though, right? Because
No.
your legs would sunburn.
Nope. I wear clean underwear because I know I'll end up in the hospital again. So.
Yes,
clean
exactly.
underwear actually won't protect you. That's just a myth.
It is.
Yeah.
My
Oh.
mom lied.
You know what it is? You know what you're thinking of, Gary? The Mormons, they wear the magic underwear.
Oh, that's. Okay.
You're not Mormon, so that doesn't help
yeah.
you.
I gotta get better underwear.
So now you have to stop
anyway,
in
what
the
is-
middle
what-
of the
wait.
show and look up my song.
No, I'm
I
not.
have it on my phone. so
I'm just
if you
gonna.
want
I'm
me
just
to
gonna
play
write
it
the
or
name
something.
down so I can look it up
Okay,
later.
I can write it down for you.
It's an excuse to play with your new tablet.
So what? Just type it in there.
All right,
Just
and I'll
press
show you.
enter.
That's some of my art. I'm actually an artist.
Oh, you
also.
are?
you are?
Oh.
Yeah, I'm a guerrilla artist.
What's that mean?
That means I like to just leave my art
Out in the
someplace
woods.
unexpected and
Oh,
just
That's
leave.
wicked cool.
Oh, wow, that is cool.
Those are
That's awesome. Huh.
You realize
that
that's
is-
because the moss is going to grow over that, and somebody's going to say, "Oh, see this natural formation."
your viewers can't see it unfortunately, but I used wax.
I
my
have
lips.
telepathy, so they did see it.
Wax
My
that
viewers are
came
good.
that came with the cheese that I ate on my picnic. I held it in my hands to form it with a little bit of heat, and I made some wax, and
Wow.
then the area of the tree looked like eyes to me.
Yeah.
So
That's wicked cool.
there we go. I have another
Wow.
one. I have another one. It's
Now, do you
it's
like
part
have
of, it's part of a series, if you will.
Well, tell people where to find this online. Is it just on, like on your
It's
Facebook
that-
page, or do you have a
it's-
website for this? Or?
No. You could find it as that. You know, I was inspired. I was at that place in Brookline. There's an outside. There's an outside art walk that you can go on. I
Oh,
forget
really?
the name of this place. Oh
Oh.
gosh, you'd have to. Oh, right. Well, it's in Brookline. It's beautiful. And
Okay.
it's
That is cool.
And so that inspired me.
Yeah.
Yeah.
That's
my-
Wow,
wicked
that's
cool.
wild. Yeah.
I don't know. It's along the trail, and if you were walking
Yeah.
the trail, you'd see it, and you might.
Okay.
And it doesn't have any labeling with it, so you might wonder what the heck is going on.
Yeah.
Everything else is labeled.
But do you have these online somewhere that people can go and look?
No,
Oh,
I
you
don't.
don't? Oh,
No,
okay.
No, and
Do you plan to?
you know, I haven't. I
Should make
I
like a
haven't really
walkway,
thought
like a
of it.
path through the woods with
I
all
just
kinds
have.
of-
I like to leave it. I like to just leave it.
Yeah.
And let people discover it. I also have a switch plate series. That's what that is. Yeah. My friend sent me a very unusual postcard. I don't know what in the world that
gosh,
was
I
for.
can't see it.
So I turned it into a switch plate and mailed it back to him.
Is this all on
Yes.
your Facebook?
No. I try to.
Yeah, see, I
I
can't
prete-
see that well enough to tell what it is even.
So do you ever go back? Because you said you like to you create this art and then you leave it there to be discovered.
Yeah.
Do you ever go back to it later and just see if anything's
Convenient.
changed
If
about
it's
it? Or?
convenient for me, yeah. Sure.
Yeah.
But
That's really cool.
That is cool.
Huh.
Wow, 2 artists.
Yeah.
In one day.
Yeah.
And my daughter attends a school for.
We're going to be voting
for-
Democrat by the end of the show.
My daughter attends Granite State Arts Academy, which is a charter school for students that are interested in the arts. It's in Derry right now, but they're moving to Salem.
Oh, yeah?
There's still a few more openings. It is a public school, so you could go there tuition free if you are a New Hampshire resident.
Interesting.
Really?
Yeah, I didn't
Yeah.
even know that was
Yeah.
there.
And it's going to where?
It's moving to Salem, right off of
Oh.
Exit 2.
Oh, yeah, that would be too far for me to take my grandkid.
Well,
From
a lot,
where all
there are people that come from this area, so
Right.
you could carpool if your grandkid
Yeah.
was really interested in that.
I think he'd be really good at it. He's done some,
Really?
he's wicked talented.
They have.
He has not got into the visual arts, but he's got that mind.
Is he musical or
No.
a
Hey,
dancer? Because they have many programs.
okay,
Music,
we're going to
dance.
get way too far off, but
Oh,
I
yeah,
want
we
to
are.
say something quick. I think it is the coolest thing. Nakomi or Takomi? What is the Pokemon made by?
Oh,
Nakomi?
is it Konami?
Konami, that's it.
Konami?
Konami just came out with this new program. If you're driving along and you see a group of white, typically teenagers, I mean like very white, like as in pale white, like they haven't been out of their cellar for a couple of years,
Yeah.
it's wicked cool. They're going around collecting Pokemon. So if you see them, offer them some water because they probably have never been out long enough to realize they might need such things,
Sure.
and some sunscreen because
Yes.
they're definitely going to need that.
She's writing this down so she'll remember to do this.
Good, excellent,
is
excellent.
Sunscreen.
Sunscreen.
I wish all our guests did
Water.
that.
I know.
Yeah.
'Cause
No, that's
we have
actually your
pearls
prescription
of
for
wisdom
music.
on this show. It's good that people write these things
It's
down.
your, it's your
Yes.
music prescription.
So anyway, you were causing trouble yesterday, and I'm ashamed of you again.
Okay, I'm sorry to hear that.
Most of our guests
but I
are
know
ashamed at some point. It's okay.
Yeah, most people are ashamed of coming on the show.
Exactly. Oh, you meant you
this
were
is
ashamed.
a lot
I'm
of fun.
sorry.
This is definitely the most fun show that I have been on.
That's great because there's plenty left.
Yeah,
It's early.
it's early.
I'll try to hold on to that.
A little bit of a focus issue sometimes.
Yeah, a little
but that's okay.
A little bit.
Only a little bit.
What were we talking about?
I don't know.
Yeah, I can't remember where I am.
So, was I causing trouble? Sure. Yeah. Okay.
Yeah, all right.
Just own it. Just own it. We like that.
I'm gonna own that. I had a sign. It was a bold sign. On my sign, I wrote my opinion, which I feel very strongly about, that Hillary Clinton is an enabler of sexual violence. And I wrote, Hillary enables rape,
Right.
deny it, and you minimize rape too. And I walked along the line of Clinton and Bernie supporters that were walking into the venue, Portsmouth
Right.
High School. And I talked to them about why I thought that. I had some links printed up on some pieces of paper, and I asked them to please take them if they did not know who Juanita Broderick is, for example. I'm focusing specifically on that story.
Well,
She's
well,
the-
there's a whole bunch of stories.
Okay, then let me.
Katherine.
Why specifically her? Because I'm
Okay.
not. I get your point.
Yeah.
You really kind of have to specify
Sure.
because otherwise you get so many.
So things are so bad that people are confusing so many different stories with each other that's why this is minimized. This is part of it. I'm talking about sexual assault. I'm not talking about a consensual relationship. There are lots of consensual relationships involving Bill Clinton. Let's just
Right.
take all of those and put them over there. I'm talking about sexual assault.
Right.
So Juanita Broderick went on Dateline NBC back in '99 and
Yeah.
spoke for an hour to Lisa Myers and said that she had been raped by Bill Clinton back in '78.
Right.
I saw that interview, and I felt instantly that this woman is telling the truth, and she doesn't really have a lot of good. It's hard to see how she would really be benefiting from this story. She never wrote a book. She never sold her stories. She's
Yeah, if anything,
not
she makes herself a target.
trying to be famous. She's
Right.
already very successful in her own right in the nursing home field. She ran a nursing home and owned the home. So she's a really impressive woman. It's hard to paint her also.
How old was she?
At the time, I think she was about 35.
Okay.
Okay, so she's 73 now. But, well, I'll get to that in a minute. But I think that she's in a different category. She was definitely sexually assaulted, and you can talk about Kathleen Willey, and that would be a groping incident, and Paula Jones, and that would be a definitely harassment incident.
Right.
So those are not cool either. And you could say some parts of the Monica Lewinsky situation were definitely not cool, but if I focus on Juanita Broaddrick, I mean, it's hard to deny, if you know the whole story, it's hard to deny that this guy's a rapist.
Without getting too graphic, can you go through her
Sure.
story?
Sure. She said that she went to a nursing home for a nursing home conference at a hotel, and he was in the same area. They met up because she was working on his campaign and wanted to talk to him about nursing home issues, and he was running for governor at the time. He was the attorney general. So she was planning on meeting him at the coffee shop and talking to him, and they got to the coffee shop, and he said, there's a lot of reporters around. Could we go to some place where it's quieter, where we won't be, all this hassle? So could we go to my room or what's her room? I don't know, but can I meet you up in a room? And she said, okay. She's thinking, this is the attorney general. I mean, why would you think that's
Right.
shady? And he's running for governor. So she said, okay. Well, that's not what went down. She said that he raped her.
Okay.
Not just once, but twice. And bit her lip and was very callous towards her at the end and told her to get some ice on that. Now, soon after that, she ran into her friend, told her friend what happened, and left. She left the event because she was just so upset. But her friend was there and saw all of the things that she said happened. She saw the lip, she saw the pantyhose were torn, all kinds of things, and that Juanita was very upset at that time. So, I'm watching that interview, and I don't really, I find it offensive that I'm being asked all the time to say that lady's lying. Just forget it. Whatever she's talking about, she's a flake. No, because that's not true. That's not the case with her.
Right.
So I asked Al Gore about that back in he came in December of '99 to Derry, and I asked him, do you believe Juanita Broaddrick? And he just answered my question as if I was asking about a consensual affair. Now, he's the vice president of the United States at that moment, and I just meekly said, okay, thank you. And I could, barely ask more than that because I was, trying to be super respectful.
This was at a campaign event that you
Yes,
asked?
this was a town hall. It was televised. It was it was WNDS at the time.
I actually think I remember that.
Yeah, that's me.
I think I remember that, yeah.
Told you she's a troublemaker.
I know, yeah, for a long time,
Yeah.
apparently.
How dare you try to glean the truth?
Juanita saw that, called me up, and I figured I'm going to ask her all the questions that these doubters keep asking me.
Right.
And I didn't say whether what I felt about it. I just asked her all these questions, and I felt even more so that she was telling the truth after I got off the phone with her.
Yeah.
But she really wanted to tell me about Hillary Clinton.
Yeah.
And she said this woman is even worse, if you can believe it, because she threatened me afterwards and told me to be quiet.
Mm-hmm.
And
Wait, you said threatened.
Yep.
In what regard? Threatened
When
to
it
put
went
her
up
out
to
of
her-
business? Threatened to punch her in the nose?
Went up to her at a campaign event, which was something she could not get out of easily. So she just figured, I'll go, I'll make a little appearance and get the heck out of there. And then that was like her last obligation on the campaign was to be at that event, and somebody else was relying on her to go. So she went, and then wanted to leave as soon as possible. So she goes to that event. Hillary Clinton makes a beeline for her and grabs her arm and squeezes it and says, "Thank you for all you're doing for the campaign." Now, Juanita told me she knew something was wrong when this happens, because all she was doing was passing out signs that she had, since by that point, put on a burn pile at a chair factory, which is weird because the campaign's still going on. So whoever's seeing all those burnt signs was like, why in the world? Yeah. So so anyway, she thought that was a strange thing to say, and then squeezed her arm even harder and said, "And thank you for all you'll continue to do for the campaign. Do you understand?" And then just squeezed her arm.
Soft intimidation, I believe that's typically called. Yeah.
So, of course, my natural question was, do you think this was a jealous wife situation where she thought there was an affair? Because I think we could all understand that, I mean, it's a little,
of course.
little catty, but we can understand, okay?
Yeah.
So, she said no. And I had to stop and think, like, what in the world? What do you mean no? She thought you had been raped, and she's doing that to you? How would she know that? Wait, back up. Why do you think she would think that you had been raped? Because
how would she even know?
that's right. So let me back up, because she Mrs. Clinton was driven to that event by a man who was known to Juanita Broderick also. Mrs. Clinton did not know that this man knew Juanita, but afterwards he went and he told Juanita, "You were the topic of conversation on the whole ride over to that event," and his belief is, and they talked about rape, and Mrs. Clinton, of course, was furious, and then her reaction after that was to threaten the woman to stay quiet rather than go talk to the man that she thinks is a rapist.
Right.
What? It's hard to wrap your mind around that. I mean, it's so bad. I can understand why people hear the story and they think that this has to be nuts.
And this
I
is
can
all.
Understand that.
Juanita Broderick shared this with you when you
Yes,
spoke with her?
yes,
Yeah.
and she kind of was very concerned about Hillary Clinton running for office. This time
Yeah.
she was not running for Senate or anything, and I was just saying,
'Cause this
well,
was back in '99.
yeah, it was
right?
back in December '99. I was saying, well, let's hope we never have to worry about that. Okay, well, hopefully it's all over soon. That was my feeling, and then she ran for Senate.
Well, I can tell you everything you've said about that and your conversation with her is consistent with what she says even now. She just recently was a guest on a show called The Opperman Report that we carry on IPM Nation, and Ed Opperman interviewed Juanita Broderick, and I listened to it, and it was consistent with everything that you just told us.
That's because it's the truth.
Yeah.
And
I believe it.
I have an unusual history also. So when I was watching this interview, I was also I was actively going to a rape support group myself, rape and sexual assault support.
Okay.
And I saw this, and I'm telling my husband who's sitting next to me, I said, "Oh my gosh, this woman is telling the truth. This woman's telling the truth." I was just shocked. And I said, well, I guess the National Organization for Women are really going to demand some answers. And I went to bed. And I went to work the next day, and I got into a little bit of a fight with a guy named Chris, who I was working as a musical instrument maker at the time, and in the machine shop, and I was training him on the milling machine, and we got into a little fight because he said, "Oh, that lady, she's had sex before. It's not like she's a virgin, so what's the big deal?" And I remember yelling. Yeah. And
Were his knuckles dragging when he said it?
Well, I kind of got feisty back with him. I said,
good.
"Okay, Chris, you're not Jesus Christ, right? So your mom's not the Virgin Mary. So, okay, everybody, open season on Chris's mom. If anybody wants to, I guess, rape her, go ahead." Of course, I was kidding, but
right. Well,
I mean, I
yes,
was making
but-
my point. Like, does it matter? It wouldn't matter if it was his
in
mom.
other words-
He would care, right?
Right. Yeah, of course. With sister, mom, wife, whatever.
Yeah.
Yeah. No, that's horrible. I know. The thing is, what you're telling me about the National Organization of Whiners is absolutely correct. 2002, I believe, or 3, I forget which, I filed a bill of address to have Wayne Vedder removed as director of Fish and Game because he was messing around with the girls in the office. It was so bad that the women used to have to call each other. If they found themselves alone in the office with the director, they would call each other to try to get backup in as quickly as possible.
Really? That's pretty bad.
Oh, it's really bad,
That is
okay?
really bad.
So
So what happened in that case?
they made a deal with him and he resigned. And if you go back, if you look at the bill, it was an address of Wayne Vedder, and I think it would have been in the calendar in 2003. It was the only bill you will see that never had a hearing.
Really?
No.
Why wasn't
Wow.
he fired? Why does
They don't
just
fire their
quietly-
friends.
they quietly
That's why.
resign?
But anyway,
That's not cool.
my point is, I was up against the leadership of the House and people in the Senate, the Executive Council.
And what year did you say this was?
3, I think. 2. It was
2003?
It was right after. It was just after I got
Republican
elected in
administration?
2002.
Were you up against the Republican administration? at the
Correct.
time?
This is a Republican-controlled House, and it was Republican-controlled Senate, I believe. And the people from the Executive Council were contacting me, trying to get me to back down. Speaker couldn't even talk to me because he's so mad at me.
Wow.
But
Who was that?
Huh?
Who was that?
That would have been Gene Chandler at the time.
Oh.
But it was all boy network. I mean, they all used to use Fish and Game equipment to go on these big camping trips. They'd grab the ATVs from the Fish and Game and go on these big hunting trips, and
Yeah.
so it was all like inside baseball kind of thing, and don't mess with our guy.
Yeah.
And so I knew I was way over my head. So I went to the minority leader, which was Peter Burling, and he's not all that trustworthy. And then I called the National Organization of Women, and the state one. I says, I need help here. I'm in way over my head. Mm-hmm. They're throwing all this legal crap at me that I don't really understand. I know I'm doing the right thing, but I could use some help because I'm outnumbered. Oh yeah, well we're not. I think either they said specifically they would not get involved, or at least they never returned any my phone calls.
They really need to change the name to what they really are, which is Women for Abortion.
That's all they are.
That's really what it is. Women who want abortion to stay
That's
legal.
it.
They
It's
should
all.
just change
And
the
people
focus.
in
be
the
more honest.
audience probably don't understand that. But the National Organization of Women is only thing they care about is abortion rights,
Right.
that they can kill unborn children. That's it.
So this is probably why
and the
they
reason they weren't willing to help me is because the leadership of the Republican leadership was hands off on abortion bills.
you should have called me.
I didn't know you.
So that was too bad.
Yes. You would have been.
I was already getting a little more politically active at that time because when I found out that Hillary Clinton was running for Senate,
Did you go down there to New York and explain to people how horrible she really was?
I led a demonstration.
Yes.
Yeah, it was when she was running for Senate because my family, so I have some family in New York, and I was going there anyway. And soon before that, she was making complaints about. So you just keep in mind, just a year ago, Juanita Broder called me, told me that Hillary had threatened her to stay quiet about this rape by Bill Clinton, and then Hillary Clinton runs for Senate and is complaining about something that happened during the Puerto Rican Day festivities, that some women were groped during that some parade and everything.
Right.
So she's complaining, and I'm just listening to that thinking, oh, really? Is that what you care about? Why do you care about that, but you don't care about something
Your husband's
that's
doing
much bigger?
Right.
You know? And I led a demonstration outside of our headquarters, and I asked her to answer that question. Do you believe Juanita Broderick? I asked her to answer that same question. I gave a videotape of the NBC tape, the Dateline NBC, the interview. I gave it to her, the person in her office who he wouldn't tell me his name. He wouldn't show his face. It was just a hand. I'm surprised he even opened the door. It was just a hand that came out of the door, and he took it.
So it's like the thing.
And
remember Adam's Family?
Yes. Yeah. But I had sent it.
Yeah.
I had sent it via certified mail a little before that, so I know that she received it because I sent it. So basically, I gave it to her twice. But it was myself, and there were some other people there, and I made a speech about all of this, and it was on my birthday. It was on the day I turned 30. It was August 19th, and that's also Bill Clinton's birthday. Yeah. So astrology means nothing. So that's your lesson for today. So I knew that she probably wouldn't be there, because it was other stuff. So it would just happen to be the day I could get there, though.
Yeah.
Right.
So.
So you led that demonstration.
Yeah.
Then
So I would have led a demonstration against this other guy you're talking about, Wayne Vedder, if I had like facts about it, if I had spoken to women who said that this was a problem, I would have gone to Chandler myself and given him a piece of my mind.
Right.
Even if I was, just a regular citizen, I can go in there and talk to him.
Mm-hmm.
But so then to follow up your stalking of Hillary Clinton.
I am not stalking her. I am simply.
That's exactly what a stalker would say.
I know, wouldn't it? Yeah.
When I called her house 30 times last night, I told her, I'm not stalking you.
Good.
No, I'm kidding.
As you follow her down the street.
Yes.
So, the interesting thing is she held up a sign that had the word rape on it.
Yeah.
So would you say NBC?
No,
or
it was two different local news agencies said that they couldn't put that sign on air because it had the word rape in it. I said, are you kidding me? What?
Yeah, it's this whole PC thing now. If you mention rape, you're somehow reinforcing rape culture. whatever that is,
Or maybe
it's out of control with that
the
stuff.
only thing I can think that makes sense is that maybe they have a policy that they won't put that up there like it's a fact if they haven't been convicted. But they could just say, this is this lady's opinion.
Right.
Well, they would know that because it's in a sign.
Right. Exactly.
Dude, I was watching New England Cable News, part of NBC, and some man used the term illegal immigrant. And then they, illegal alien, maybe he said that one, I don't remember. But it was illegal immigrant or illegal alien or something. And then the newscaster comes on and says, that is that man's opinion and is not the opinion of this station or NBC or its parent companies. And I'm like, that was awkward. What the heck are you talking about? And I realized,
Right.
oh, they don't like that word. Oh,
Yeah,
wow.
yeah.
I'm surprised they even let that go to air. It was obviously that man's opinion.
It was someone's, right.
We saw
someone
him speaking
yeah.
the words.
Right, exactly, yeah.
They still felt the need to do that.
Yeah.
Now, last year you
Unbelievable.
made news. You were causing trouble last year also.
Oh, right, yes, that I forgot. There's been so many times. Well,
Did you ever get hate mail from her or yet?
no, but I did get audited the night.
No way.
Yeah, and I would not use that term for many years because I was afraid. This is the kind of sad story. But the night before that demonstration, my husband called and said, we got a letter saying that we were that our tax records needed to be gone over. We need to send them back, and that the receipt from the school that my daughter went to, she was going to a private preschool, that or kindergarten, that wasn't included, and because of that, it looks like we owe much more, and they're going to put a lien on the house. And then he's like, when he said lien on the house, he's like, oh my gosh, what is going on? And I said, don't worry, we'll just resend that paperwork. I know I sent it. We'll just resend it, and so we did, and things were okay. But there was an investigation. Judicial Watch helped me, and they helped put those wheels in motion to find out if that was politically motivated. But I never found out. They never really got. The Treasury Department never got back to me.
That's a hard thing to prove. I mean, we know it goes on.
We know,
but
it
it's
goes
a
on
hard thing to prove.
Because.
Oh, what's her name? Yeah.
No, there was Jean Shaheen and a bunch of other Democrats and Obama, or I think Obama, but I know the Democrat senators told the IRS to start looking into these 501(c)(3)s that are pro-liberty groups, and they did.
You know,
they made it almost impossible to create one of those 501(c)(3)s for a while.
Yeah.
Because there's so much paperwork.
And when all that happened, I just thought, yeah, I can see that happening, definitely.
Oh, yeah.
But even worse than that was about a week before the planned demonstration, I was speaking to a woman on the phone.
Which one?
She's...
before which planned demonstration?
The one in New York City.
Okay,
when
back
Hillary
in 2000?
was running for Senate, and I was asking her on August 19th to answer that question. Someone who was on the Independent Council with David Shippers, she was on that council, and she had been a homicide investigator in Chicago. Diana, and name slipping me right at this moment. It's a Polish name, you know, but she told me that I should probably not do this, that it was not a good idea, you know, that I had a young family. Right, you know what I mean?
Soft intimidation, yeah.
That maybe that I had to, you know, I should think about this. And is my car in a garage? And
she said that?
Yeah.
Wow.
So before I went, it's my birthday month. I needed to get my car inspected anyway, so my car was inspected just before my trip, and off I went. And I had I made sure I had a cell phone, which at the time was a real hassle because I didn't really want one, but I also didn't want to travel without one.
Right.
But when she told me that, I was also, I would say, hoping that it wasn't real, because people were also calling me and saying, "Oh, you're going to get audited," you know. And I just thought, "Oh, come on," you know, the people saying all kinds of stuff. But she had, you know, was a real bright lady, and she had a lot of experience, and so I figured
was she threatening you, or
no,
just
no, absolutely not.
She was just warning you.
She was just telling me that it was a dangerous situation.
Okay.
And that was very kind of her, you know. I think that she was saying that I know these people because she had worked on the Independent Council, and she may have felt like she had more to say but couldn't say it and just wanted me to be safe. And that was good.
Yeah.
And like I said, I got a lot of warnings about other stuff, and being audited was one of them. And I would just sort of think like, okay, sure, yeah, okay, there are people living in my bushes, they're going to jump out at me, and I'm going to get audited and all this other stuff.
On the 15th and get a gun.
Get a flannel
Yeah.
shirt. I can
And
get
a flannel shirt.
If you like freedom, you'll buy guns. Is that how it works?
Yeah,
Okay,
yeah, exactly.
Yeah.
But when I got audited, that was when things changed, and I got annoyed that it seemed like, are they trying to send me a message or something? I mean, there have been other times. So closer to now, in November of last year, somebody in Hooks had asked Mrs. Clinton if she believed Juanita Broderick, Kathleen Willey, because Mrs. Clinton put out a tweet saying, if you've been raped, I believe
Oh, yeah,
you,
yeah,
you
there was
deserve to be heard and believed and all that. So great, good. I agree with that. But then a few months later, somebody said, does that include Juanita Broderick? That was a great question. I don't know why they didn't follow up and find out who that woman was, okay?
Right.
So Mrs. Clinton said, yes, until they're disbelieved because of evidence. And then last August at a parade, I asked Hillary Clinton if she believed Juanita Broderick, and she said, who? Huh? What? So that answer is, no, I don't know who she is. I don't care about who she is. Forget that, right? I don't even want to know.
At
So that's
this
her answer.
point,
So
what
then-
difference does it make?
Right. So then how is it that she could say, no, I don't believe her because of the evidence that disproves it, when she doesn't even know who the woman is, doesn't want to know who the
Right.
woman is, doesn't care. So then a couple months later, she's at the VFW in Derry, and I'm out there with a sign that says, Hillary is a traitor to the core values of feminism or something like that, And my friends come by and they say, come on in, it'll be fine, don't worry about it, it's a free country. And I said, are you kidding me? I'm on the list. I'm sure they don't want me. And my friend says, no, come on, don't be silly. It's a free country. And
Who's your friend?
it's another
Somebody-
state rep. It's Phyllis Katz-Koris.
Okay.
So she said she'd try to save a seat for me up at the front, and I said, oh, no, thanks, but thanks. So off she goes in, and then I realized, my grandfather, who probably went to that VFW a few times, he would be proud of me. He's a World War II vet. I bet he'd be really proud of me for standing here. I'm going in there. It's a free country. And so I put my sign away.
Yeah.
And I just asked if I could still go in, even though I had an RSVP. I gave my name.
Yeah.
I went in, sat down. I'm in the back row. There are questions in it and stuff. And I was super polite the whole time. I never spoke out. But one thing that happened that really was scary was I'm sitting there minding my own business, doing nothing, doing absolutely nothing wrong, just sitting in this seat. And these 5 guys from the Secret Service come, and I'm on the end of the row, and they make a circle around me.
Really?
In unison, like there was some kind of dance team. I'm like, what in the world are you talking about? If I even try to go to the ladies' room, am I going to get tackled for that? If
Yeah.
I even stand up, but there's like 5 of them.
Wow.
So when it's question time, I'm just real meek. I was kind of scared. I'm like,
Yeah,
I don't
yeah.
want to move. Well, it's question time. Okay, do we have a question? And I'm doing this kind of stuff. Hello.
Yeah, they knew who you were, clearly.
Never took my question, right?
Yeah.
So I'm thinking about this more, and I see that she's coming to the junior high school, the middle school in Derry, and I sign up my own name. Everything's all on the up and up, and I just get there early. I sit up at the front in a place, where I knew that it would be hard to ignore me, and I even told the man sitting next to me, I have a very specific question I'd like to ask her, and maybe it's more of a statement because I don't believe she can answer this question. And I'm just going to blurt it out when it's question time. And he said, I told him what the question was, and he says, oh, I don't think she's going to like it. Don't ask that question. And I said, well, I'm just going to, she may not even call on you. And I said, well, I'll just blurt it out. So when it was question time, the instant it was question time, I just stood right up and I said, Mrs. Clinton or Madam Secretary or something like that. I got real big, and she said, okay, well, I'll go over here. And so then asked a question over there, and then when that question was over, then when she said, okay, and then she's like, all right, so now I jumped right up, and I'm like, Mrs. Clinton, Mrs. Clinton. So that's
But to
how
no
that happened.
avail,
But I
she
didn't,
just ignored you?
oh, I kind of sensed that was, I didn't think she was going to really, I'd
Right,
be shocked
right.
if she took my question. I mean, my
Yeah.
point was that I wanted to say, you say women should be believed, but then you say that Juanita shouldn't be believed because of some evidence, but how is it possible you can assess that when you don't know who she is and you don't want to know who she is? That's
Right.
what you told me
And
in
how you
August.
never looked at the evidence because there's never been any evidence.
Well,
that
she
you-
doesn't want to look at it.
Right.
And I think that
Or
this is
it-
all a big shell game.
Oh, it is. Of course it is.
So I told her that I thought she won't talk about it because she believes Juanita Broderick. That's why she won't talk about it, because she believes that.
You said that out loud?
Yes, I said you believe Juanita Broderick was raped by your husband, and that's why you won't talk about it. Because she can't win.
Right.
She can't win because she treated her very poorly at the time.
Yeah.
You know, in a way that is just mind-bogglingly cruel.
Yeah.
To treat someone with that situation.
Yeah.
So she can't win, so she has to keep saying
Now
she
what
doesn't
happened?
know. If she doesn't know, that's pretty incompetent. You know, she's going to be the president of the United States. All the people that are closest to her should any person what if she has somebody on her staff?
Hey, listen, you're talking about somebody who apparently didn't know that you have to be really careful with classified information.
No way, you do?
Apparently, yes.
Wow, I didn't know that.
I didn't know that either,
That's
obviously.
just
but
weird.
But you would think
Really?
she would have known. But
So you mean when it says classified,
Yeah,
that
yeah.
means only certain people?
Right, like if there's people who hate us, you're not supposed to let them see it.
So
But why?
wait a minute. If I have a nuclear missile in my front yard, I have like a missile silo. I'm not
Don't
supposed
say
to
that
say
on
that,
the
right?
air.
Whoopsie,
They
was that
already
my
hate
out
you.
loud? Why was that my out loud?
Yeah,
loud
or-
voice?
Or don't tell our enemies that you
Don't
have
tell
that
our
there,
enemies that you
certainly.
have
Yeah.
nuclear
I don't really have a
weapons.
missile silo. It's a telescope.
Oh, tell us, yeah.
Oh,
All
yeah,
right.
yeah.
We-
So,
Well,
my
for
husband's
sure,
really
yeah,
into astronomy.
right.
Yeah.
Right, yeah.
Yeah, sure, we're
Yeah,
going to
subscription
believe
to
that.
Sky and Telescope.
Yeah.
So you
right.
know it's true.
You know what? The thing is, it really, see, this is the other thing, too, about this whole FBI thing, is, and I think I said it last week on the show, you have a woman who supposedly didn't, and she pretended she didn't even understand enough about electronics because when she said, did they wipe it clean, she goes, oh, you mean with a towel?
Yeah, with a claw.
With a
Yeah,
cloth?
Yeah.
Okay, so she's feigning ignorance of the entire situation. Then that's why this happened.
Right.
Okay, let's presume for a half a second, because that's about how much I can tolerate, that she's telling the truth. That infers that all these people who are making hundreds of thousands of dollars a year as top people in their field surrounding her and taking care of her and feeding her information and protecting her also don't know how to deal with top secret information.
Yeah.
So either one of two things. Either she deliberately mishandled top secret information, or she and her staff are morons. In either case...
Which one of those do you pick
What-
one?
yeah, pick
Right.
one.
Which one's worse? Yeah.
Which one's worse?
Right.
She and her staff are all morons, or they're in a deliberately...
I'd like to know how you can be so sophisticated as to have a server in your home, but
still ignorant.
then also think you need many different devices for more than one email.
No, she only
account.
needs one device. No, wait, she had many, but
Right,
she
she
only
said
needed
she
one.
wanted many because she wanted to, just, I don't know, check many different email accounts or something.
No, she wanted one.
Something, or one?
She said she wanted one. She ended up with many because I don't think counting is not her strong suit apparently either.
Oh.
Yeah,
Okay.
so-
All right. Well, she plays dumb when it suits her, and she plays super intelligent when it suits her. And
Well, I can identify with that. So, that one, so.
Maybe someday you'll be Secretary of State.
That's right. I could be. I qualify.
Yes, and you already know more about the job than Hillary, apparently, because
Well, we just learned about this top secret information. I
Right.
guess you can't share that on Facebook.
you know,
Right, yes.
I think it's also been really troubling to people that do have security clearances, that do have rules that they have to follow. When they see this
who
happening,
would end up in prison if they don't,
absolutely,
but not Hillary.
and
Yeah.
they see this happening, and you know, the rule of law is and the fact that no one is above the law is one of the best things about our country.
Well,
I don't
it
want to give
used to
that up.
be.
Yeah, I don't want to give that up.
No,
Yeah.
you just did.
How did I do it?
Well,
I'm
just
not waving
you, I
any
don't mean you
white flag.
specifically.
Oh, you mean?
I mean,
okay.
in general, that's just that is exactly what has just happened.
Yeah.
So one of two things: either people step up to the plate, care about the rule of law, and vote in anybody except Hillary, or their right to kill the unborn is so much more important than that, or whatever other crap they believe in, or a lot of it. People vote are just selfish votes.
Yeah, and a lot of the
And I mean that on the Republican and Democrat side, by the way. I'm not saying one particular party. I know there was a guy I worked with, and he was, because I was in the state legislature while I was working full time,
Yeah.
and he would hammer me all the time about Northern Pass, you can't let that go, blah, 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 blah. Then he found out, he actually saw the map of where Northern Pass was going, and he realized it was like about 10 miles from his house. He didn't care anymore. It was no longer relevant. Didn't care if they put it in, didn't put it in.
Right.
Had no effect on him, so it was
Right.
fine. I just and It's like somebody asked me about my voting record, and they said, "Oh, you vote that way because your wife's a teacher." I said, "Actually, no. I actually don't care. I vote. I try to do my best to vote exactly what I believe is correct, regardless of how it does or does not affect me."
Although, to be fair, though, one's personal circumstances can influence, I think, in a positive way. You have a perspective that someone not in those circumstances
Yes, that's
doesn't
true.
have,
That is
so,
true. Like if
yeah.
you're a car dealer, you might know more about the law and why that would affect, commerce than somebody else.
Right,
But
right.
if you're doing it so your dealership can get more, to crowd everybody else out, well, that's
bad. Yeah.
Hey, we're almost out of time. Where did I get my paper? So.
There's one that fell.
Oh yeah, that's it.
Chasing paper.
I hate when the papers try to escape.
Yeah,
I
know. It's what it's because I turned on that fan.
Oh,
I turned on the fan. It probably blew the paper. It's
No,
my fault.
I think it has its mind of its own. I didn't want to be ridded on anymore.
That's just as credible. Yes.
Yeah, it is. So, she looks like she doesn't believe me.
I know. Well, you get that look a lot.
I know, I do.
Yeah.
It's weird.
Yeah.
I'm trying to resist the urge to correct your grammar. You
What-
wrote
what?
rodent on, and it
Roded,
should
yeah.
be
This past
rit-
tense of
it's-
ridded.
Oh,
Yeah, didn't you know?
sorry. I thought it was.
It's a teachable moment. You
yeah.
learn something.
Yeah, I know.
Talk to your wife.
Well, somebody's got
Whatever
to.
she says.
So anyway, so tomorrow night, Jim Adams, running for executive council, he's having a fundraiser at the Yard. I'm sure if you show up at 6 o'clock with $50 in your hand, they will let you in regardless of whether you RSVP.
Sweet.
I'm pretty confident of that.
Yes.
Ross Terrio, who doesn't know the meaning of the word RSVP, is having his event at 7 p.m. at Spare Times on the corner of Valley and Maple Street. And that's only $20 for the poverty-stricken who want to help out Ross.
Yep.
And if you want a Trump sticker, I got one. And Matt, you're awesome.
Thank you.
Katherine,
You as well.
thank you very much, young lady. You're
Yes.
beautiful.
Thank you.
And we'll see you next week.
Bye, everybody.